We were informed by the ship this morning in our time about 7 o'clock in the morning that the vessel had an explosion followed by a fire. Then that happened at the moment the vessel was picking up her pilot to go connect to a single point mooring buoy to load an additional cargo. She was partly laden with a cargo coming from Raes in Saudi Arabia. Then later we hear that there were 12 crew members which were in fact on the forecastle standing by to connect the ship to that buoy may have jumped overboard because they were cut off the castle of the ship. They couldn't go back, and since there were tugboats present, they jumped overboard and were picked up by these tugboats. Then later we got the captain on the telephone telling that he was trying to get the fire under control, but he failed to do so since his crew was hugely reduced, nearly by 50%. And by 12 o'clock their time, he had to abandon the ship and was in fact went ashore. Then later we hear that in fact one crew member is missing. Now, the only thing we really know what may have caused the incident is one of the junior officers saw a boat, small craft, approach our ship with relatively high speed. He thought it may have collided with our ship, but since our Limburg is a big ship, we didn't feel it. They didn't feel anything, but shortly afterwards there was an explosion. Everybody's concerned that she will sing, but I don't think she will sing. No. Not for the moment. It's contained. It's contained to the tank where the explosion occurred, which is tank 4 starboard. And it's contained to that. So I know that they are cooling off now, cooling down to get the fire under control. Once cooled down, they will put people on board. I suppose that salvage company will put people on board to try to put a tow on board. On your webpage, you can see it. And so far, she's still in smoke. Everybody's concerned that she will sing, but I don't think she will sing. Let's put it that way, that as far as we are concerned, it's a double-hull ship. So she's absolutely protected against collisions, certainly with small craft. There is no electrical wiring in the ship. Since she's in that tank, which assumedly exploded. So we see no reason why an explosion would occur in that tank. So the only thing we can think about is a similarity with the American warship Cole. But obviously that will be very obvious when the fire is out, when the smoke has disappeared. It will be very obvious if it's an inside explosion or an outside explosion, but we do not see any reason why there could be an inside explosion with a new ship. No, but it's a small tank, in fact, which has been hit. Mm-hmm. So since it's clear that the Yemenis try to prove that it's not a terrorist attack, and I have a lot of sympathy for that, but we see no other reason why the incident could have occurred. But again, I think there will be no doubt anymore the moment the fire is extinguished and people can go on board. It will be very obvious what has happened, and we're looking forward to that information. I think you have
yes.
She's in the Arabian Gulf. North of Bahreïn. Ce qu'on sait aujourd'hui, c'est que tous les marins ont été sauvés, à part un ouvrier bulgare qu'on n'a pas encore retrouvé à ce moment-ci. Quelques heures plus tard, pour ainsi dire à midi, vers midi, heure locale, le commandant qui a essayé d'éteindre le feu a dû quitter le bateau. Et pour l'instant, tout l'état-major et l'équipage se trouvent à terre, où ils sont questionnés par les autorités yéménites.
Let's move. Somebody's coming.